Okay, this is a quick video about the things that caused the decline of Rome. I'm sure there are a bunch of other little things that aren't going to be mentioned here, but I'm going to focus on the four main ones that I was taught. Okay, so first, we're going to talk about economics. There was a huge split between the upper class and the lower class. Huge. And to hide the fact that the lower class was so poor, they were sometimes given free food from the emperors. Okay? This wasted a lot of the government's money. Also, you have to take into consideration that there was inflation. Inflation is a sudden increase in the price of everything. This was caused by the fact that a bunch of emperors printed a lot more money than was needed to try and appease everyone and give them money, but what ended up happening is that this lowered the value of each coin, so that it was worth less than expected, and so everything was very overpriced, along with the fact that the poor people were very poor, and the rich people were very rich. Next is social decay. Okay? For a long time, Rome was a very proud nation. Almost all of the men fought in the army, fought for a country that they loved, and defended. They valued their city and their reputation, and they were happy. But eventually, Rome started to hire mercenaries, which are people you pay to fight for you. Okay? And all of a sudden, its citizens alone weren't defending Rome. Other people had a hand in it, and the fact that their Rome wasn't enough to defend itself brought down a lot of people's spirits. Their pride diminished, along with their focus on virtues, leaving Rome a lot weaker than it was before. Next, there was political turmoil at the same time of all of this. Okay? There had been an almost constant change in emperors for around a half a century. There was no stability, and Rome was suffering for it. Without a single person in charge for any length of time, it was difficult to accomplish much of anything, because a new person always came along who wanted to do something else, and who was certain that they had the better idea. Add to this the widespread corruption of officials in government, and you have a very weak empire indeed. Finally, you have to take into account that the Huns were migrating across Europe. This is leading to foreign invasion, okay? They were migrating from Asia into Europe, and they were a terrifying culture, and all the Germanic tribes that lived in their way, somewhere between Europe and Asia, they were fleeing from the Huns as they came across Europe. So the Huns, I'm going to give them a horse to represent them, because they were all horsemen. The Huns were coming this way, and all the people were running from them, and they were trying to find safety before the Huns got them. And that safety just happened to come in the form of Rome. So, all these people decide they're gonna go hide in Rome from the Huns. Okay? And so, they came in and they kept invading Rome and weakening it even further. So all of these factors, the money is worth nothing, the prices are high, there's very poor people, all pride in Rome is diminishing, there's no solid leader who's accomplishing much of anything at all, and a bunch of foreign invasion is going on. It's no wonder that Rome didn't fall earlier.